Okay, we're now on part 3 of lesson 5.3. So let's make things just a little bit harder. These variables are definitely not going to have the same coefficient. So let's see what happens to these possibilities. So here's an example. 3x minus y equals 9. 2x plus 2y equals negative 2. Well, these y's have different signs, but not the same coefficients. So let's give them the same coefficient and make them equivalent to each other. Actually, we're going to skip this one because this is exactly identical to the very first problem at the beginning of the assignment. So we'll just cancel that out for now. And now we'll go to this next one. So here's another good example with different coefficients. 3x plus 3y equals 12. 6x minus 2y equals negative 16. So we need to find a way to get some of these coefficients similar to each other. There's a variety of different ways that we can go about this. I can find a way to make the y's have the same coefficient, or I can get the x's to have the same coefficient. In this case, let's try the x's. Let's give them the same coefficient. So this is 3x, this is 6x. If I want to have these have the same coefficient, I could multiply this entire thing by 2, but I want this to be negative so that these will cancel out. So I'm going to multiply by negative 2. And now by doing that, I'm going to get negative 6x minus 6y is equal to negative 24. And then below that, I'll have 6x minus 2y equals negative 16. And so now I'm going to have negative 8y. And that is going to be equal to negative 40. So y is going to equal 5. So I have one of my values. Now I want to find out what x is. So I just simply need to put 5 in for y into one of these equations. I'll stick with the first one. That seemed to work pretty well. So I'm going to take 3x plus 3 times 5 is equal to 12. 3x plus 15 equals 12. Subtract 15 from both sides. 3x is equal to negative 3, and therefore x is equal to negative 1. So my coordinates are negative 1 and 5. Okay? All right, let's look at the last problem on this page. We've got negative 4x plus 4y equals 8, and then 2x plus y equals negative 4. Well, if I look at these, there's a variety of things I could do here. Notice these two do not have the same coefficient or sign. These two don't have the same coefficient, but they do have different signs. So I can simply get their coefficients the same. I can do that by multiplying by 2. So now I'm going to have negative 4x plus 4y is equal to 8. And 4x plus 2y is equal to negative 8. And do that problem. 4x's will cancel out. I'm going to have 6y equal to 0 divided by 6. Therefore, y is equal to 0. That one's pretty easy. Now I can take 0 and plug it into either one of these equations. Plug it into this one. So I've got 2x plus 0 equals negative 4. That means 2x is equal to negative 4. Therefore, x is equal to negative 2. So my coordinates are negative 2 and 0. All right, let's look at one more problem that's like this on the back side here. Okay, so this one's a little more complicated than others. We've got 3x plus 3y equals negative 9. We've got 5x minus 2y is equal to negative 22. None of these coefficients match up. Here the signs are not different, but here the signs are different. So now we have to think in terms of a lowest common multiple. And the lowest common multiple between 3 and 2 would be 6. So now I need to multiply both of these by a number that will get me to that coefficient. This one I need to multiply by 2. This one I need to multiply by 3. By doing that, I'm now going to have 6x plus 6y is equal to negative 18. And that's going to be over, let's see, 3 times 5. We're going to have 15x minus 6y is equal to negative 66. 3 times negative 22. Let's do our math here. 6 and 15, we're going to have 21x. The y's cancel out. That's going to be equal to negative 84. If I take negative 84 divided by 21, x is going to be equal to negative 4. So it still works out nicely. Now I can take that negative 4, plug it into one of these original equations. I'm just going to choose the first one. 3 times negative 4 plus 3y equals negative 9. I've got negative 12 plus 3y equals negative 9. Subtract or add 12 to both sides. 3y equals 3. That means y is going to be equal to 1. So my coordinates here are negative 4 and 1. In the next video, we're going to look at the last two problems, which are word problems, and we'll see how we can use the elimination method to solve a word problem.